Welcome back to Reds Fusion LFC, your #1 stop for all things Liverpool. Today we've got huge stories breaking. Jurgen Klopp sends a clear warning to Arne Slot. Doubts are already surfacing over a new signing. And Liverpool's transfer moves are raising serious questions after a surprise Mo Salah decision. From Alexander Isak fears to the Marc Guehi race and even a shock Everton link, it's all kicking off at Anfield. Let's dive in! Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe to stay updated with every twist and turn in the transfer window. Jurgen Klopp sends warning to Arne Slot as worry emerges over new. Signing Arne Slot will be looking to steer Liverpool back to winning ways at the weekend, while Jurgen Klopp and some ex-Premier League legends have had their say on the Reds Liverpool. We'll be hoping to get back to winning ways in the Premier League on Saturday as they face Chelsea at Stamford Bridge. The huge clash with the Blues now comes with added significance after Arne Slot's side were beaten by Crystal Palace last weekend. The Palace defeat has brutally exposed some underlying issues that have plagued the Reds all season. Despite Slot's side winning their first 5 games of the season, the reigning Premier League champions have somewhat flattered to deceive. Late winners were required to beat Bournemouth, Newcastle, Arsenal, and Burnley. A commanding first-half performance in the Merseyside derby against Everton was also entirely absent in a second period that saw the Reds labor to a slim 2-1 win. Liverpool broke the bank to recruit the likes of Florian Wirtz and Alexander Isak this summer, yet while they are still top of the league by 2 points, Slot's side are yet to fully click into gear. With tactics being questioned by ex-boss Jurgen Klopp and Premier League legends having their say over Liverpool's underperforming stars, Mirror Football takes a look at all the latest news coming out of Anfield. Klopp questions. Liverpool's style Arne Slot's predecessor Klopp has recently praised Slot, but also questioned Liverpool's current tactical setup. Speaking in an interview with The Athletic, the German, who won the Premier League and Champions League with Liverpool, claimed the Reds look really good, but did have a reservation over how open Slot's side looked this season, with the Reds having conceded 7 in 6 games. Liverpool is playing a specific style, so really, really good, Klopp said. Very offensive-orientated. Do they take the risk a little bit of being exposed? Different ways to go, let me say it like that. Jeremy Frimpong issue raised new fullback Jeremy Frimpong has also been questioned by ex-Blackburn Rovers striker Chris Sutton. Sutton isn't so sure that Slot is keen on the Dutchman, with both Dominik Szoboszlai and Connor Bradley being deployed at right back instead. Of the former Bayer Leverkusen star, Frimpong has had to contend with an injury early on in his Liverpool career that kept him out for weeks. However, the 24-year-old has been singled out for his role in Palace's late winner last weekend. Everton icon sends warning Toffee's hero Duncan Ferguson believes Arsenal will win the Premier League title this season. Ferguson was speaking on Sky Sports Monday Night Football alongside Reds icon Jamie Carragher. The former Blue believes Mikel Arteta's side looks stronger than Liverpool this season. I was very impressed with them, Arsenal. I've put them down for the favourites for the title. I think they'll be in front of Liverpool, Ferguson said. Salah issue raised by Premier League legend Alan Shearer has suggested that Mohamed Salah is suffering from a lack of confidence, stating that the Reds' attack doesn't look right. While Liverpool have scored 12 goals in the Premier League, the joint second most with Arsenal and just behind Man City, Salah only just 2 Premier League goals to his name, a peculiar stat for the club's 3rd highest goal scorer of all time. Arne Slot told he made Liverpool's selection mistake versus Galatasaray. He's not comfortable. Liverpool boss Arne Slot made the surprise decision to start Dominik Szoboszlai at right back for his side's Champions League clash with Galatasaray. On Wednesday night, Arne Slot has been warned that he may have blundered by deploying Dominik Szoboszlai as a right back in Liverpool's Champions League trip to Galatasaray. The Hungarian found himself in the defensive line for the 4th time this season as the Reds lost 1-0 in Istanbul. However, unlike previous defensive stints which were necessitated by injuries to Jeremy Frimpong and Connor Bradley, Slot had all 3 players at his disposal for the latest Champions League encounter. With Bradley being one of 4 players relegated to the bench following Liverpool's weekend loss to Crystal Palace, it was Szoboszlai who was given the responsibility of filling in at right back. Intriguingly, Frimpong also made the starting lineup, taking up position on the right wing after Slot made the unexpected decision to bench Mohamed. Salah Szoboszlai ended up conceding an early penalty when he accidentally hit Barris Alper Yilmaz in the face with his trailing arm while attempting to challenge the Turkey international in the box, providing Victor Osimhen with the opportunity to score the opening goal from the spot. Earlier, Yilmaz had outpaced Szoboszlai after making a run behind the Hungarian, only to be denied the first goal by Alisson Becker in a one-on-one situation. Former Everton ace Pat Nevin was on co-commentary duties for BBC Radio 5 Live for the match. He quickly suggested that Slot's choice to field Szoboszlai at right-back had backfired. "That decision to play Szoboszlai at right-back and not Frimpong," he said. "He has been attacked twice, done for pace, and has given away a penalty." Meanwhile, after witnessing Liverpool's 29mm summer signing of Frimpong from Bayer Leverkusen, Alan Shearer suggested that Slot lacked confidence in his natural right-back options. Having chosen to start Szoboszlai in the position during their match in Turkey, they paid a lot of money for a right-back in Frimpong, he commented while on co-commentary duties for Amazon Prime. "You've got a really good prospect in Bradley, yet you're playing a midfielder at right-back, so that tells you he's not comfortable." Liverpool early transfer signs do not look promising after surprise Mohamed Salah decision. Doyle, with the main talking point after Liverpool's Champions League clash at Galatasaray on Tuesday evening, the prevalence of rotation in modern football begs the question whether a player is ever truly dropped. But that Mohamed Salah has been a perennial in the Liverpool starting lineup that his benching at Galatasaray prompted the raising of more than a few eyebrows. There could be few grumbles given his poor display at Crystal Palace on Saturday, and while his numbers remain impressive, 3 goals and 3 assists in 8 games going into this one, Salah's overall level of performance has rarely hit the usual heights. There are myriad reasons for that, not least having to adapt to so many new players being around him in attack and down the right flank. This was only the 7th Champions League game Salah had failed to start since arriving at Liverpool more than 8 years ago, the majority of which were effective dead rubbers. Indeed, the most recent saw him come off the bench and within 13 minutes, hat-trick in the 7-1 win at Rangers in October 2022. The Reds will have to become accustomed to Salah's absence with the Egyptian departing. For Africa Cup of Nations duty at Christmas, that could see him miss up to 10 games. Jeremy Frimpong had been purchased in the summer partly with that in mind, and it was the Dutchman who began on the right flank in Turkey with Dominik Szoboszlai behind him. The early signs, then, aren't particularly encouraging. Frimpong saw a fair amount of the ball during the first half, and while his pace got him into some good positions, too often the delivery was not of sufficient quality or just didn't materialize at all. There was better shortly after the interval with a run to the byline that set up a chance Hugo Ekitike flicked against the legs of Galatasaray goalkeeper Uğurcan Çakır, but it was only a matter of time when Frimpong was hooked for Salah shortly after the hour mark. But there were to be no Champions League heroics from the bench this time from the Egyptian, as Liverpool, after so much late drama this season, rarely looked like fashioning an equalizer as the clock ticked down, and few would be surprised if Salah find himself back on the right flank on the return to former club Chelsea on Saturday evening. Alexander Isak fears come true as Florian Wirtz moment sums up Liverpool's struggles. Ian Doyle with the talking points after Liverpool slumped to a disappointing Champions League 1-0 defeat at Galatasaray on Tuesday evening. Istanbul may have provided Liverpool with their greatest ever European night, but the Turkish capital has otherwise offered little joy to Liverpool. This a 3rd successive defeat in the city. More worryingly, though, it was only the 5th time in 66 games under Arne Slot that Liverpool failed to score a goal. It's not that they weren't without chances in the first half, one of which saw Ibrahima Konate sum up another alarmingly hapless showing by heading a corner wide from close range. Hugo Ekitike was lively for the opening 30 minutes, while there was a sense that with a little more care, the Reds could prize open a Galatasaray side who had not won at home in the competition proper for almost 10 years. But that Liverpool became blunted when Alexander Isak emerged points to an issue of which Slot has long been fearful. The lack of time for the $125 million man to build up an understanding, with a team still adjusting to so many other new arrivals. Isak managed a shot with his first action, but had only 3 further touches during his 38 minutes on the pitch. Mo Salah, who came on at the same time, had 19. With doubts over Ekitike's fitness, Isak must now assume the number 9 responsibility for the foreseeable, and the Reds need to start working out how best to capitalize on his quality. Wirtz's struggles continue. It was a moment that perhaps encapsulated the first few months of Florian Wirtz's time at Liverpool. After Ekitike had been crowded out and Cody Gakpo saw a shot cleared off the line, the ball fell to Wirtz inside the area, but rather than try for goal or play a simple pass, the Germany international chose to blindly roll the ball behind himself in the expectation it would be met by an incoming teammate. Instead, Galatasaray simply picked up the loose possession and 20 seconds later were awarded the penalty from whistle-happy referee Clement Turpin that exposed Dominik Szoboszlai's inexperience at right-back and ultimately decided a low-quality encounter. Wirtz was at the heart of sufficient Liverpool first-half threat and saw a smart shot on the turned saved. But his performance dipped considerably after the break, with only the injuries of others contributing to him lasting the full 90 minutes for the first time since moving to Anfield. There was one good cross for Connor Bradley to head wide, but by the end he was guilty of the loose possession that affected most of his teammates. A booking in injury time prompted an incredulous look from Wirtz, having earlier been aggrieved at some rough treatment. He is becoming a marked man in more ways than one. Liverpool transfer news as new club leading, Marc Guehi race, and Everton star eyed for shock move. Liverpool transfer news as a new club is said to be one of the leading contenders to sign Marc Guehi, while the Reds are reportedly eyeing up a shock move for an Everton star. Another frustrating defeat for Liverpool on Tuesday has left Arne Slot with plenty of questions about his side following their summer spending spree. A 1-0 defeat to Galatasaray saw the Reds fall to back-to-back losses after the weekend trip to Crystal Palace, and once again, a number of Liverpool's stars left a lot to be desired with their performances. Although the likes of Florian Wirtz and Alexander Isak continue to struggle to find their feet, there is no end to the speculation linking the Reds with even more new signings. With 3 months still to go until the January window opens. Marc Guehi, Crystal Palace. Tottenham has emerged as one of the leading contenders to sign Marc Guehi, according to Caught Offside. It's suggested that a January bid could be launched by Spurs, with his expiring contract making him an attractive and cost-effective target. Liverpool, of course, holds an interest in the Crystal Palace captain, having seen a deadline day deal for him collapse. Although reports since then have indicated the Reds will now wait until the summer to revisit the transfer, when Guehi will be available as a free agent. As well as Spurs, Real Madrid and Barcelona are also said to be weighing up January bids, with Guehi claimed to have instructed his representatives to keep lines open with Real in particular. Jarrad Branthwaite, Everton. Liverpool is showing an interest in Everton defender Jarrad Branthwaite, according to Football Insider. However, it seems the Toffees will block any attempt from their Merseyside rival to sign the 23-year-old. It's claimed that both the Reds and Manchester United are showing an interest in Branthwaite as they eye up new defenders. Everton, though, is expected to reject any offers for the centre-back when the window reopens in January, and it's suggested that Liverpool's neighbour will maintain that firm stance heading into next summer, when higher bids could come in for Branthwaite, who is under contract until 2030.